State Grid of China, siya rin ba, Mr. Anthony Almeida, ang State Grid International Development Limited? Are they the same and one?
No, it's a holding company.
So iba po, holding company yung ano? Yung State Grid International Development Limited? O siya
Yes,
ang
Mr.
State
Chair.
Grid of China?
No, the other one is a holding company. State Grid of China is the mother company.
Okay. So,
Yes.
can you kindly submit to this committee yung shareholders agreement of the NGCP and the China Grid, yung State Grid of China? Okay, shareholders agreement. We need to find out because sinasabi mo kanina walang control ang Chinese
Yes,
sa
Mr.
operation and maintenance of the
Yes.
of
Yes,
the
Mr.
operation. So, we will find out with
Yes,
the
Mr.
shareholders agreement. Submit it to us. And
Yes,
please, nire-remind po namin ang NGCP na sana po hindi po sa araw ng hearing kayo nagsasubmit ng mga dokumento. Bigyan nyo naman po kami ng oras para basahin ang mga dokumento na dinadala nyo po sa amin.
Yes,
Give
Mr.
us
Chair.
at least 2 days or 3 days prior to the hearing itself.
Apo, Mr.
Thank you.
Chair.
And secondly, Mr. Chairman, all requests for authority to purchase land executed by the NGCP or any of its officials. Third, yung pong mga memoranda executed by the NGCP or any of its officials in relation to construction projects by the NGCP. Ikaapat po, any and all documents submitted by the NGCP during the bidding for the privatization of Transco. And number 5, any and all documents submitted by the NARI group in relation to the bid proposals submitted to NGCP. Share purchase agreement among Henry C., Robert Kyoto, and Synergy Grid and Development Incorporated. Submit it to us as well. Number 7, proof of approval by the Philippine Stock Exchange and Philippine Competition Commission of the share purchase agreement or the share swap transaction among Henry C., Robert Kyoto, and Synergy Grid. Number
Point
8.
of order, Mr. Chair.
This is a administrative matter, Mr. Chairman.
No, but I would like to make a point of order, Mr. Chair, because I am guided by the subject matter of the inquiry. This is a motu proprio inquiry on the performance of the National Grid Corporation of the Philippines. So we are supposed to be assessing the performance of NGCP and in relation to the very objective of lowering the price of electricity. I do not find the connection why the Honorable Fernandez is asking several documents to be submitted before this committee.
Can you
I
please-
think
Mr. Chairman, because with all these documents that we are asking from the NGCP, we will be able to assess their performance. Because
Mr.
these
Chair,
are all
the
pertinent
one that
documents
will
coming from
assess the
NGCP.
performance
And we
of
haven't received
NGCP,
any
Mr.
documents
Chair.
yet coming from NGCP just now. Ngayon lang tayo nakareceive ng documents sa kanila eh. Ano, pipigilan niyo ako na kunin to. Ang tagal-tagal ko na kinukuha to, 2019 pa. Mr. Chairman, if I may proceed. Minutes of meeting for the election of corporate officers of NGCP. NGCP corporate policies on the functions and qualifications of officers and audit committee, compensation committee, and nomination and election committee. Number 10, authorization from the Department of Justice for the employment of technical personnel, list of names of nationality and all of managerial employees of NGCP, including the respective job descriptions and years of employment. Number 12, complete organizational chart of NGCP. Number 13, tripartite agreement of Transco, NGCP, DICT in relation to the National Broadband Plan. Broadband Plan. And lease agreement between NGCP and DICT in relation to the National Fiber Backbone. Now, Mr. Chairman, I will proceed. Mr. Chairman, ang tanong ko lamang po sa ERC, yung po bang last rate reset natin, 13 taon na po tayong walang rate eh. Di ba? At lagi kapag sinasabi natin rate reset, lagi na lang sinasabi natin na ang sinasabi ng NGCP, kasi ang ERC hindi sila nag-re-reset eh. It's always like that eh. Lagi ang sinisisi ng NGCP ay kayo. Bakit? Can you kindly tell us, bakit umabot ng 13 taon? Samantalang sinasabi sa atin ng batas, rules ng ERC, every 5 years, di ba? Every 5 years. Oh, kailan ang last reset natin? Kailan? Ma'am,
Mr. Chair,
Isa de Malanta.
apo. Yung last na rate reset po ay para sa third regulatory period covering 2011 to 2015. So, natapos po ito bandang 2010. Pinatupad po nila ng 2011.
so,
16 to 2023.
Yun po yung hirap po akong makasagot, Mr. Chair. Kasi po kung maalala po ninyo, especially the Honorable Dan Fernandez, noon pong Agosto 2022, ang bandang Setyembre po, 3 weeks into the job, noon pong nag-budget hearing po, ito na po yung siningil sa amin. So, tinanong po naman kami ng diretsahan, nagkaroon ba ng reset? Sumagot din naman po kami ng diretsahan na wala. Pero in a matter of weeks, sinimulan na po namin yung trabaho. Kaya po, November nakapaglabas po kami ng rules, December nakapag-file po si NGCP. So,
Yeah.
pero yung between po nun, yun po yung hirap po akong makasagot, Mr. Chair, kasi po wala po akong personal knowledge.
Yes, so tama po yung sinasabi ni NGCP na kasalanan nga ng ERC din to.
Hindi po nakapag-reset po talaga yung ERC.
Yun lang.
Opo.
Yun ang problema. Ano ang impact ng hindi kayo nakapag-reset?
Wala pong naging review nung rates ni NGCP at wala din po silang opportunity na makapag-file para sa bagong rate. So ang nangyari po, tinuloy-tuloy lang yung dating rates na
Okay.
na naaprubahan ng ERC.
The Honorable Dan
at
Fernandez.
wala pong na-assess, wala pong na-depreciate ng mga value ng kanilang mga assets. Mr. Chairman, 13 taon, at hindi ako naniniwala na ito'y kagagawan lamang ng ERC, but nevertheless, darating po tayo doon. Ngayon po, anong status ng ating pong reset? Para sa kababayan natin na nanonood at sa mga kasamahan po natin, itong pinag-uusapan po natin, ito po yung taripa. At ang pinag-uusapan po dito, okay, sinasabi yan ng NGCP at ibang members ng ating pong mga kasamahan dito that napakaliit lang ng porsyento ng transmission rate sa kabuuan na binabayad ng ating taong bayan. Pero tayo po dito ay niloloko. Ang ating pong transmission rate, tama, maliit lang, 1 peso and 19 cents per kilowatt hour. Yun po ang general na sinisingil. Pero Mr. Chairman, 13 or 10 cents lang ang difference. Malaking bagay po yan sa ating pong mga kababayan. Most especially na hindi tayo nag-compute, marami na po tayong overcollection. And this must be refunded to our Filipino people. Now, ang tanong, Mona Lisa, ano na ang status ng ating pong NGCP's rate reset?
Sa reset po ng fourth regulatory period, Mr. Chair, ito po yung tapos ng period 2016 to 2022. Patapos na po kami. Ito nga pong siguro po ngayong susunod na linggo, may meeting na po kami para final evaluation na po ito. Kasi natapos na po namin yung mga public processes. Required po kami na mag-publish, humingi ng consultation sa publiko. Natapos na po namin yun. So,
Okay.
evaluation na po.
Salamat po, ma'am. Ito po, may hawak po akong dalawang dokumento. Isang draft partial initial determination. Ito, covered period of 2016 to 2020. At isang draft final determination 2016 to 2020. This was published noong September 2023 at ito naman noong August 2024. Will you confirm that you have the already signed? Lahat kayo nag-sign dito. Ikaw, Mona Lisa, si Catherine, si Commissioner Maceda, si Lumbatan, si Digal, at si Puentes. At sinasabi nyo dito sa draft partial initial determination from 2016 to 2020 was published on September 2023. Am I correct?
Tama po yan, Mr.
At ito naman published August 2024. Draft
Tama po.
final determination. I
Tama
just
po.
wanted to confirm kasi pupunta ako sa dalawang desisyon na to. Hindi naman desisyon sapagkat wala pa naman kayong final, di ba? And I just wanted to be cleared kasi medyo ako confused ako sa mga desisyon dito na sa mga value ng ating assets that was agreed upon by ARC. And the power of this committee is the oversight power to check na yung pong sinasabi ng EPIRA that the rate base, no, Mr. Chairman, kailangan po nakabase doon po sa tinatawag po nating methodology na ginamit po nila. Now, ang tanong ko po, Dito ba sa dokumento na ito, na covered by this document, are you saying na 2016 lang to 2020 itong partial initial determination?
Tama po.
Tama. At ito naman, 21 to 22?
Hindi po, buo na po.
Buo na.
2016 to 2022.
So, imbis na 5 taon tayo ngayon, 7 taon na yung ating pong fourth regulatory period.
Tama po.
Am I correct? Okay. So, sinabi ninyo doon sa draft final determination which covers the 2016 to 2022, sabi mo, na-post to noong August 24 at na-post din to nung September. Dito sa discussion to, napasama yung commission and completed projects should be allowed to be recovered by NGCP. At dito sa decision nyo at dito sa draft ninyo, nakalagay din yung spent. Am I correct? Tama po ba yan sabihin na nakalagay pareho dito yung commission and useful ng mga projects?
Mr. Chairman, point of order. We cannot be discussing non-final decisions and merely temporary drafts. Otherwise will be intruding into the authority of the ARC in finally determining what should be done to this particular period for reset.
Mr.
How
Chairman,
how can we be discussing drafts?
Mr. Chairman,
This, I would just like to ask.
Mr. Chairman,
Miss Di Balanta, are you agreeing to discuss here something that you have not finally decided on?
Mr. Chairman, that's the reason why we have this.
The Honorable Dan Fernandez.
That's the reason why, Mr. Chairman, that we have this oversight power to check the abuse of some agencies of our government, especially na maapektuhan yung sinacharge sa ating taong bayan. Pera ng taong bayan ito sinacharge natin Yung ang sinasabi natin dito ng mga proyekto na hindi pa tapos, itinacharge natin sa ating mga consumers. And yun ang pinaglalaban po natin dito. Bakit po
Okay.
hindi
The
na-allow?
Honorable Dan Fernandez still has the floor. Let us give him
Yeah,
his
but I
time.
have the
But
point of order.
We
In
take
any
note of that,
judicial
Honorable.
decision, you cannot question yet if that's not yet final.
But
These
it-
are draft. The commissioners, the chairman will change this draft and they have that authority under the law.
Okay.
So how can we be discussing drafts of possible decisions?
Okay.
I would like to ask, Madam, because we have a point of order.
Mr. Chairman, I still
And a
have the
point of
floor.
order.
Mr.
Yes.
Chairman, I still have the floor.
And the point of
And you have
order
to
is
decide on the point of
precedes
order,
all
Mr.
kinds
Chairman.
of statements.
Decide on the point of order.
Yeah, the point of
The-
order is precedes all. The point in
Mr.
the
Chairman, have we
highlighted-
violated
the point
any
of order
rules
is number one.
with the,
Yes,
with
may
the
we
manifestation
know
of
what is
Congressman
the
Rufus
what is
Rodriguez?
what rule has been violated, Honorable Rodriguez? Because
point of
you
order.
will have to understand that he's asking a question based on some research that he has made.
That's correct.
So let us give him that time
No,
because you have
because
to
a
understand
point
that
of order interrupts anybody.
I will agree, but you will have to cite also what
What
rule have
rules?
what rule have we violated, because you will have to understand. Honorable Rodriguez, para klaro tayo, para maging smooth naman itong procedure ho natin, itong hearing na to. Patapusin na ho natin si Dan Fernandez because there's also an accusation here na kayo yung kasalanan ng ARC. So dapat, I think he's also going to go there. So I would like to hear, because in his statement, meron siyang statement kanina na meron kayong kasalanan. So I want him now to continue, and I will allow him to continue, the Honorable
With due
Rodriguez.
respect to our chair,
Okay.
our rules provide for precedence of motions. And in that proceedings of motions, the rules of Congress, it says that the point of order has precedence over all other discussions. And that is why I'm saying that I have a point of order that in this proceeding, we cannot be discussing drafts
Mr. Chairman,
which
what
are
rule was
not yet
violated?
final.
Mr. Chairman, what rule was violated? Tama
I
po
think-
yun.
Rule on the precedence
Tama po
of
yun.
Mr. Chair,
2-minute
Pero
break,
ano
Mr.
po
Chair.
yan ang,
Break.
Anong,
Can we have a break,
anong
Mr.
rules
Chair?
ang
Okay,
na-violate
session,
natin, Mr. Chairman?
Session suspended.
Wala naman tayo
Alam po ninyo,
binabiolate sa rules
pag nag-cite ho tayo ng rule, point of order, you will have to be clear what's
is because of the franchise that Congress granted you in 2008. And of course, by Section 2 of RA 9511, the term is 50 years. So hanggang 2058 po yan. but it was granted to you under the condition that it will be subject to amendment, alteration, or repeal by Congress when the common good so requires. So that's the reason for why we are here today. Gusto natin tanungin kung ano po ba ang performance ng isang napaka-importante po na korporasyon dito sa ating bansa. As we know, electricity is a very big source of inflation. At ngayon po, ang inflation ang pinaka-importanting problema po sa ating ekonomiya. And therefore, I appeal to our NGCP officials, particularly Attorney Sagayo, sana po maging cooperative lang po tayo. Mahinahon lang po. Wag naman po sana natin i-raise ang sub judice. Hindi naman po tayo korte. People center po ito, hindi po ito korte. Salamat po. So let me go to my first question, Mr. Chair. Kanina pa po, paulit-ulit sinasabi na 3% lang po ang transmission charges. Last week naman po, narinig ko, 10% ang transmission charges. Bago tayo malito, pwede ba natin linawin? Ano ba talaga? Kasi sa pagkakaalam ko, ang presyo ng electricity, at least for NCR, is about 11.42 pesos per kilowatt hour. Kanina po nakita ko ang transmission charges on the average. I saw a slide. It was 0.8 on the average. So, ano ba talaga? I saw an electric bill earlier, 4,000 pesos. Of that, merong 227 na transmission charge. So that's about 5.6%. So, ano ba talaga? Sino bang pwedeng sumagot sa akin? Pwede ba natin pasagutin si ERC Chair? Mona?
I think you're the right agency, being the regulator. What
So
is
don't-
the real
yes,
percentage?
ano ba talaga?
Thank
What
you,
is
Mr.
the real
Chair.
score? Yung 227 of 4,000 dun sa sample bill na pinakita ninyo last week. Ano yun? Yun yung wheeling charges siguro. Tama po ba?
Baka po ang sinasabi po ng binabanggit po ng NGCP na 3% refers to wheeling charges only. So kabuuan po, pag po tiningnan natin yung bill, yung linya na transmission charges, meron pong kasama dong ancillary services na hindi naman po, to be fair to NGCP, hindi po sa kanila napupunta. Sa Genco po yun or sa market po yun napupunta. Meron din po silang system operator charge, yun po sa kanila po napupunta. Yung wheeling po, yun po yung regular na rates na delivery rates po kasi yun po yun. Pag binuo po yun, siguro po yun yung umaabot ng 10% on the average. Pero sa mismong siguro po mahirap kasi pag porsyento yung pinag-uusapan. Sa mismong customer bulletin ng NGCP ng November 2024, for example po, nakalagay po doon sa kanilang website, nakapublish naman po yung kanilang mga customer bulletin. Kabuuan po na napunta sa kinolekta ng NGCP ay mga sa kabuuang 1 peso, for example, in average na po sa Pilipinas 1.19. 0.45 po doon, 45 centavos yung wheeling charge. So tapos po 56 or 57 centavos yung ancillary service charge. Yun po yung dalawang malaking porsyento or bahagi ng 1.20, 1 peso and 20 centavos. Yung iba pong maliliit na SO charge na po yun, metering service charge, CCR, STC yung connection charge, and yung iba pa pong charges. Pero ang malaki pong porsyento, yung wheeling charge at yun pong ancillary service charge.
Okay, so wheeling charge plus ancillary
Ano na po yun?
is what percent?
Parang dun sa November rates po, 1 peso na po yun. Yun pa lang, 1 peso na. Sa
1 peso na.
1.20.
Okay, so tama naman, di ba, sa NCR 11.42. So, talagang nasa 10%.
Pag tinotal na
Pag
po
tinotal
yun.
natin. So, pwede natin pag-usapan ang 10%. Pag sinasabing wheeling plus ancillary?
Po. Yung ancillary po kasi hindi po sa kanila po yung
Oh, so ano
napupunta.
yung po-
Although sila po yung may obligasyon na bumili po ng ancillary. Kasi po sila nagbabalanse ng system.
Okay, so hindi pumupunta sa kanila as revenues pero dumadaan sa kamay nila. Okay, pero gayon pa man, from our perspective as consumers, ang transmission burden is 10%. Kaya hindi dapat natin siya baliwalain. Yun lang naman ang punto ko. Okay, ang next point ko. Alam naman po natin na ang grid ay parang siyang highway. Di po ba? So ang mga problema sa kalsada, tulad ng traffic, congestion, pareho din yan. Tama po ba? Doon sa ating grid. So kaya po tayo tila na frustrate kapag delayed ang investments. Kasi ibig sabihin nun, hindi natin nakokonekta ang mga kalsada. Ibig sabihin, yung kumbaga sa kotse, imbis na natutuloy-tuloy niya ang kanyang pagtakbo, nahihinto. Tama? O di kaya, sobrang daming kotse, kaya tuloy mabagal. Tama po. So yun dapat puntahan na power sa isang lugar. Kasi halimbawa, sa isang lugar na sobrang daming supply, na pwede sana niyang dalhin sa isang lugar na sobrang konti ang supply, ay hindi nagagawa. Tama po. Magsa-stop go, and therefore, dahil sa kakulangan ng transmission infrastructure, naapektuhan ang generation cost. Tama po. So in other words, kahit sabihin natin na, nako, mas malaki ang generation cost share, which is about 51%. Tama po ba?
On the average, yes.
Masasabi natin na, sa totoo lang, ang dahilan kung bakit malaki yung generation cost is because kulang na kulang ang ating highway. Kulang na kulang ang ating transmission infrastructure. Is that an accurate statement, ma'am?
It's a fair statement, Mr. Chair. Also, idagdag ko lang po, hindi lang po yung cost ng generation, yung pong cost ng ancillary, tumataas din po. Kasi po, pag hindi enough yung linya, naghahanap ng pampalit, ng substitute, dun po sa kawalan
Yun.
ng linya.
Okay. Yan din ang aking commonsensical understanding. Pasensya na po kayo, hindi po ako engineer, ako isang ekonomista, pero ganyan ang aking pag-intindi. Na kahit sabihin mo directly, 10% lang yan, ay hindi po. Pagpalpak ang pag-invest ng NGCP, naaapektuhan po ang generation charges. Ngayon po, sino po ang may estimate na ilan porsyento doon sa 51% ay due to delays in investment in transmission infrastructure, Mr. Chair? I'm up.
I'm up. Can you answer that? I think that was part of your presentation. Can you accurately answer that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Ma'am, so you're asking me parang percentage? Ganun po ba?
Yes.
Or some make us understand what portion of the generation charges would be due to inefficiencies in transmission.
Okay po. Yung po kasing so electric bill, so may generation charges po doon, mostly contracted po yan mga bilateral contracts. So we can say that the cost ng generation doon is the real cost of electricity or yung least cost na siguro sa contracting, CSP, etc. Pero sa amin sa market kasi, aside from the cost of the generation, may additional charge that's factored in that is called line rental. Yung line rental po, to be clear, to clarify, hindi po ito transmission charge. Hindi po ito na pupunta rin sa NGCP. Kaya lang tawag natin sa ngayon ay line rental. And we are proposing that it be changed actually to line loss and congestion cost. Ang ibig sabihin po nun, kung from point A to point B, ay limited yung transmission line, maaaring yung lower cost generation from point A, hindi lahat makatawid to point B. And therefore, yung kulang na electricity necessary to meet the demand in point B ay imi-meet ng generation available at that point B na maaaring from time to time ay mas mahal. At kung mas mahal yon, magkakaroon ng price difference. At yung po basically is computed or attributed as LLCC or what we call now as line rental. So yung kaya po ang presyo sa WSM, minsan nakikriticize mas mataas kasi po hindi siya generation cost only. Kasama po kasi sa kinokolekta sa WSM yung LLCC na ang multiplier naman po niyan ay yung bilateral contracted quantities, hindi po spot quantities. So siguro in a sense sa market, no, yun po yung masasabi namin na contribution. No? Siguro the lower the LLCC, we can say that the more efficient the system is. No? Kung mas mahal ang LLCC, let's say dati yung Cebu Bohol, no? Kaya mahal sa Cebu Bohol kasi congested yung or limited yung line. So yung pong necessary requirement ng Bohol na meet ng generators from Bohol na most of the time are diesel na. Kaya mahal yung presyo ng kuryente sa Bohol. Now with the completion of the transmission project, the second line, no, Cebu to Bohol, bumaba po yung presyo sa Bohol. So yun po yung masasabi namin na factor ng transmission in terms of prices. So mahirap po, hindi ko po masabi ko ilang. Yes, ma'am.
Yung takeaway
Mr.
ko,
Chairman,
Mr. Chair.
point of clarification. Just point of clarification sa ERC on the
Well,
statement of...
Ma'am, are you willing to...
Please.
yes.
Mikey.
Actually-
Honorable Mikey Romero.
You know, ERC, you have formulas for that. You cannot just blame the distribution or the generation kasi yung EPIRA broke it down di ba? Power generation, power transmission, the supply, and the... so, broken down na to So, kahit sa bill statement natin, either Meralco or any electric co-op, naka-breakdown na yung expenses. So, kitang-kita mo na magkano yung transmission. Number 2, no? ERC, if you can confirm. Ma'am, sorry. Sa cost ng generation, naka-breakdown din kayo on the coal, bunker fuel, plus CRF, di ba? Plus yung return on investment. So you cannot blame anybody, no? Whether it's a problem of the distribution or generation, very, very separate itong dalawang to. No?
ERC.
Yun sa unang punto po, tama po. IPIRA required the unbundling. Yun po yung nire-refer ng Honorable Congressman, yung unbundling po ng bill. Kaya po ngayon, kita na po natin yung lahat ng distribution. Dati po nung panahon ni Napocor, nakatago lang yun sa isang number. So hindi po natin alam kung saan nagmumula yung, kung tataas yung bill, saan nanggagaling yung pagtaas. Ngayon po, kita na po natin. So dun po sa pangalawang punto, hindi ko po alam kung if I captured the question correctly, but yun pong sa tariff per, if you're referring po to PSAs, Power Supply Agreement, tama po, naka-breakdown din po yun pag inaprubahan ng ERC. Pero kung ano po yung masisingil dun sa mga consumers, dun sa iba-ibang cooperative or distribution utility, meron na pong mix. So, depende po sa galing, sa husay ng distributor, kung makakabili siya ng mura para mapamura yung mix niya. Or, yun nga po yung pinapaliwanag ng IMAP kanina, yun pong pagtaas sa WSM caused by other congestion charges. Pag po exposed yung isang kooperatiba or distribution utility sa WSM, buo po yung pasa ng congestion charges po na yun. So, hindi po natin ma-fix yun pong formula, kung yun po yung ibig sabihin. Kasi po, ang proseso ng pag-approve ay per contract.
Ma'am, but
at
you're the
hindi
one
naman
setting
po
the formula. Like, for example, if it's 8 pesos ang cost ng, or 11 pesos ang sinabi ni, so magkano ang cost ng generation mo? No? Di ba, kung ako may PSA, okay, PSA ko, power generation is 6 pesos. Sa 6 pesos, 3 piso ang coal ko o ang bunker fuel ko. Plus, yung babawiin ko sa pagtayo ko ng planta, which is the CRF, lagay mo na lang sa 2 piso. So may 2 piso si generation. So I don't really understand. Saan ang problema ng transmission dito?
Kasi po, hindi naman po makakarating yung ginawa ni generator dun sa consumer kung di po siya tatawid dun sa
Ma'am,
mga...
pero kayo gumagawa ng formula on the price of generation.
Tama po. Tama po.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, we still have the time of the Honorable Kimbo.
Mr. Chair,
Please,
baka
Honorable Kimbo.
Ulianin na ako, baka makalimutan ko yung
Okay,
tanong
please
ko.
proceed kasi wag mo natin para hindi masira yung trend of thought. Go ahead.
Pasensya na po. But it was a very simple question. Generation charges account for about 51%. But I want to know how much of that 51% can really be attributed to congestion. That's a simple question. More or less. I know you're an expert. It doesn't have to be exact science. Ballpark estimate is fine. Just for purposes of discussion, sir.
Sige po. Your Honor, based on the report that we submitted, so if we take for example yung Cebu Bohol, no, we'll take na lang po yung the lower amount. If we compare the period of September 23 to December 2023, no, yung period po na yun na target completion date to actual energization, let's say 613 ang presyo sa Bohol. Noong September 2024 to December 2024, after the energization of the new line from Cebu, the average price became 4.89. So same period po siya, period to period comparison. The price difference is 1 peso 24 centavos. So that's roughly around 20%. We can probably say, no, may error po yan, plus and minus. We can maybe say 20%, maybe attributable to the line limitation at the time prior to the energization of the new Cebu Bohol line. Kasi yung line loss naman po kasi parang kasama talaga siya, P6 siya. So yung contribution, no, yung benefit which the completed line offered, no, roughly translates to around a 20% price reduction. Siguro I can put it that way, Mr. Chairman, Madam.
So, Mr. Chair, malaki, di ba? Kasi on top of the 10% na direct transmission cost, meron palang indirect na transmission cost na nagre-reflect sa as an increase in generation cost. Is that a rough
Yes, ma'am. Pero dudugtong ko lang po. Yung pong binabanggit ko mga prices are all relating to WESM prices, only affecting WESM quantity. So hindi po to yung entire generation charges that we see in our bill. So ang average po from last year is around roughly 20 to 21%. So ang offtake from the market. So we can say that 20% of our generation costs is affected by, or let's say at least in Bohol, by say 20% benefit after the completion of the project.
So, Mr. Chair, si Attorney Batibag wishes.
Just to add, I'd like to interject to the answer of IMAP. Kasi tama naman yung point ni Kong Stella na 10% tayo ng 10%. But effectively, doon na lang sa calculation, that's an actual study, 20%. Tumaas yung kuryente kasi kanina naririnig ko sinisisi natin yung generation eh. So, kahit anong computation natin dyan, cost of money yan, time yan eh. In fact, even before the study ng IMAP, during our time, there was the Butuan Energy Development Plan. Doon sa Butuan Development Energy Plan, it's an LGU study na ginawa nila. Probably, Chair, one is aware of this. Lumalabas doon, ang presyo ng Mindanao is 30% higher than Luzon and Visayas. Bakit? Because of the delay of the Mindanao-Visayas interconnection. It was delayed for 10 years. Can you just imagine 2 pesos more? Bakit? Because under the IPIRA law, ang WESM kasi is to balance the price from the generation. Binibili nila yung mga sobra. But doon sa Mindanao, good thing, may taga Mindanao ng mga kongresista rito, pinersa sila, yung mga DUs dyan, pinepersang bilhin yung mga excess. At saan napupunta yun? Sino nagbabayad doon? Ang consumer yung nagbabayad doon. And one important thing that this committee should recognize, and all the people who are watching this, parang lalabas dito, sasabihin natin 3%, 10%. Tandaan ninyo, ang ERC, Pag nagsimula na yung project, approved na yan, kinukolekta na ng NGCP ang bayad dyan sa development cost nila. Kaya yung tinatanong ni Kong Dan Fernandez kanina, tungkol doon sa sinasabing WACC na yan, yung computation niya, importante. Ngayon, kanina sinabi, may mga point, ang Transco, o ano yung mga delay because of right of way. There are projects, I think we can ask Chair Mona here, there are projects was already been approved hanggang ngayon hindi pa sinisimulan. O sino may kasalanan ngayon yan? Pangalawa, ang Transmission Development Plan, ang gumagawa ngayon is the system operator. Ibig sabihin, kung gumawa kayo ng plano, iplinano nyo na kung ano yung mga dadaanan. Alam nyo na kung saan pupunta. Eh ngayon, kung na-aprobahan yan at na-delay, sino dapat nating sisihin? Sino sisisihin natin? Transco ba? ERC ba? Sinong gumawa ng plano? Ibig sabihin, nung plinano nyo yan, gumawa ka ng plano, gagawin mo yung highway, alam mo doon dadaan, may problema ka na dyan. So that's my point. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, so just to summarize, Mr. Chair, we're not looking at just 3%, but we're looking at potentially as high as 30% share of total bill. So, importante pinag-uusapan natin, Mr. Chair. Kaya salamat po. And my next point, magkano po, Chair Mona, ang ating total requirements to connect everything? Kasi right now, magkano ang amount na naka-reflect sa Transmission Development Plan? Pero I'm sure you have computed, magkano ba ang required investment? Kasi nakakita po ako ng computation for Indonesia. Sabi doon sa study na yon, ang kailangan daw ng Indonesia para magkaroon ng sufficient transmission infrastructure, the equivalent of 1.1 trillion pesos. But this is for Indonesia. I'm sure meron tayong computation for the Philippines. Magkano po yun?
Mr. Chair.
Yusef Charong
we're
Garin.
retrieving the document. If it's in the Transmission Development Plan. The TDP is
Yes, but I know that it says 300 billion ba?
Mr. Chair, if I may answer. For the period 2016 to 2020, NGCP claimed, the claim of NGCP was 387.8 billion to be allowed to recover 387.80 billion pesos. Meron po silang bagong application sa amin for 2023 to 2023, 24, 27. Nire-retrieve ko lang po yung numbers kasi yun po yung moving forward. Tapos na po kasi yung period na ina-undertake namin ngayon na ang pinag-uusapan po nating fourth regulatory period. But the moving forward, I'll get the numbers lang po so we can share.
And so, ilang porsyento po sa ngayon ng required investment ang in place na po? Are we half?
Meron naman po tayong detalyadong breakdown, Mr. Chair. We can submit, hindi ko lang po hawak ngayon yung total. But there are still projects, for example, that were approved during the third regulatory period. This was the 2011 to 2015.
No, I'm not
Hindi pa
talking
po
about
siya
approvals. I'm talking about in place. Kasi ang pinag-uusapan natin is yung pinapalawak na kalsada, pinapa-widen na kalsada. So ilang porsyento yung backlog ang tanong? Parang kasi meron ako nakita na parang 90 plus ang ganun ba kataas?
Po yung may numbers na ganun kasi po yung yun po yung sinasama sa Transmission Development Plan. But we have our own numbers. I'll just need to pull it up, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, pwede natin tanongin ang DOE.
Mr. Chair,
Please.
we just have the number of based on the number of projects. They're retrieving the numbers in cost
Or
today.
maybe what you call that, circuit kilometers yata ang proper unit in terms of circuit kilometers. Can you just maybe at one point in time dito sa hearing, if you can let us know? Because I think that that's probably the relevant unit to talk about. Kasi we're talking about expanding. Tama ba ako? Okay, so sige, hintayin na lang natin yan.
Mr. Chair, just to like on the number of projects, out of the 224 projects, this is based on the TDP, The completed projects are 97 and the ongoing are 46 and the rest are, di pa pala kasama. There are 224 projects. Now, out of the 109 projects, the 109 completed projects, 97 of that are delayed projects. And then the ongoing out of that 224 is 46 plus 55, Mr. Chair. And then the delayed within schedule is 9, and then the delayed is 46. The rest are in pre-construction stage. As of our calculations, together with ERC and Transco, about 6.71% of the projects are on time. The rest are delayed.
Only 6.71.
Yes, Mr.
So
Chair.
94, yeah, 94%.
These are without considering kung anong reasons. It's just like if you have a contract, you're supposed to deliver. So in our studies, 6.71, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Chair. Ang delayed. Yes,
And then,
Mr. Chair.
how much, maybe si IMOP, how much is the maximum reduction in price that can be achieved if all of these projects can finally be completed? Kasi meron kayong computation na 0.005 per kilowatt hour ang magiging price reduction for every 5 billion peso. I don't know who's, I think that was
Your Honor, Transco po yun, yung sa 5 billion